the greatest frontman in the history of rock and roll, Ozzy Osbourne.
Is this an end of an era? Are there any other great singers out there, great performing, great frontmen to carry the torch that Ozzy has left behind? I didn't want to do this video, obviously, like the tribute in the way that it is, and I'm probably going to get choked up. I was initially going to do a review of Ozzy's vocals in the final performance, back to the beginning, and he's gone full circle.
Everybody tells me that Soundgarden sound like Sabbath. So if I sound like Soundgarden and Soundgarden sound like Sabbath, I've gone full circle.
Back to the beginning. You know, this happened so fast after the last show, and I wasn't fortunate to be one of the 40-some thousand people there to watch that, or one of the 5 million that streamed it online. But I did go back and watch the performance, and I was going to review the performance. That's why I wasn't going to do it before, but I went to see that. And like, if you're like me, you've probably been like watching a ton of Ozzy content. Like, a lot of people are doing their tributes to him, and a lot of people are just kind of, there's a lot of videos coming up. I mean, on my feed, it's just, you watch kind of one or two of these, and then it just like, so the last thing you need is to see another one of these tribute videos. But for me personally, I had to do this. Whether or not anybody watches it, that's irrelevant to me. Is that when I was sitting down to do this, I said, I owe it to the legend of Oz to do this. The Legend of Oz, the Wizard of Oz. but only because he had such an impact and such an influence on my wanting to sing, my wanting to really be a rock star. A lot of that was from him and the way he performed. I mean,
Ozzy is completely nuts, and that's very good for a frontman.
I think that the audience has a sense of, that could be me.
I went to see him almost 39 years ago to the date. I mean, July 17th, 1986. I went to see, this was on the Ultimate Sin tour. I went to see him in Columbus, Ohio, and Metallica opened up when Cliff Burton played with him. I mean, like, this was like just a legendary show. It was amazing. I just couldn't get over the way Ozzy would just get the crowd going. I mean, he just, that was his passion. He just wanted to, like, make people go crazy. He was like, come on, go crazy. You know, he's just like, come on. You know, just this. He just wanted people to join him in this, like, this festival of music and just joy of life. I mean, he had such a joy for life. And you don't need to hear me get into this because everybody is going on to all of his tour. I'm not going to do anything about his history or anything like that, but I'm just going to say that his voice was so underrated. You know, and it really only occurred to me, and I'm going to play some things, but I'm having technical difficulties here. This is going to be like old school, like, you know, when you're a kid or whatever, and you're like, so let's pretend we're kids again. But his voice was so underrated. Not only that, his humor was so underrated as well. And I want to know from you what your favorite Ozzy songs or Ozzy stories or anything like that. Like, kind of let me know, because this for me, anybody that watches this is going to be a fan of Ozzy, I'm sure. And it means a lot to me to share, you know, what I'm sharing with you, and for you to share your thoughts and stories about Ozzy. You know, when you saw him live, you know, were you at the last show? I do want to say, I think there may be there's one person that comes to mind that could maybe pass the torch, or that could maybe take the torch. And I just want to kind of share a touching moment with that person as well with Ozzy. But before I get too choked up, a little clip from Ozzy's Hall of Fame induction. Now, this is the weird thing is about this is if you watch the official one from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, this was 2024, and you listen to Ozzy's voice, he still has it. So he still has, the ability to push through that compressed, distorted, and that takes a lot of support, proper support. Now, if you want to learn more about support, I didn't want to kind of put this in there, but it's if you want to understand more about support, I put a link down to the course that I have, Singing Support Secrets, for people to understand what support is, what a diaphragm is, and how you really can use support to sing rock better. But let's just listen to Maynard. So you can listen to hear the way Maynard sings. It's quite. There's a lot of nasal flow going. I'm going off the rails. Now you would think, and I thought this before, that Ozzy had a very, not very, but somewhat nasally sound. But if you listen to.
The wound's not healing, life's a bitter shame. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train.
It's a lot lighter than most people think when they hear his voice, me included. And I did a video on how to sing like Ozzy. And I think I want to redo that because I've really been focused on listening closer to the tonality of someone's voice to really try to replicate them. You really have to start with the tone. It's like the pure tone of it really will get you very far. But you listen to the thickness in which Jelly Roll is singing. Now he's going to sing it in his own style, sure, but it's very very thick. Mama, I'm coming. But the way Ozzy would sing it is. We'll listen to Ozzy's isolated vocals on that later. But just to show you, like when you listen to Ozzy's voice compared to these others, you realize what an incredibly great voice he had, how it was so clean.
The light in the window is a crack in the sky.
The light in the window is a crack in the sky.
I just want to play like a little bit of the Jack Black version that he did of Mr. Crowley. And the same kind of thing, if you listen to the end of it, how much lighter his approach to that is. I want to know what you meant. Not man. So he's not shouting through. He's very singy with his voice. Very light. And it's just people, I think, don't appreciate that enough. How great of a singer he actually was. So if we listen to Ozzy singing Paranoid with Tony Iommi playing, you listen to him backstage, you can hear the pureness and the power actually in his voice. I think this was from around 2005 when they did the gigs at Ozfest. Listen.
Finished with my woman 'cause she couldn't help me with my mind. People think I'm insane because I am frowning all the time.
It's just insane. And it was just great to hear him singing, his pure voice is just, he is so powerful. So this next clip I want to share with you is from a show called You Only Live Once in the BBC. I think this is from 2000. That's what the description says anyway, but it just goes to show you how funny Ozzy actually was. I mean, he's like, I watched this and I just laughed the whole way through.
When you've been touring, obviously touring's pretty wide. You have to return home back to the normal life, chores and things like that. Is that difficult to sort of readjust?
Well, it is, but it's over the years I've kind of got used to it. No, I don't drink, it's a different world. One time I came back, I remember, my one of the wives, I think, I'm going to reach for it.
Anne Boleyn?
Could have been. Decided to sort of bring me down to earth, and she'd bought this chicken coop, which is a bad idea. And she said, well, I said, what do you got these damn chickens for? She said, well, I thought we'd kind of get back to earth and you get up in the morning and because you get jet lag and you can feed the chickens. That lasted about 3 or 4 days. I got a gallon of petrol, a shotgun and killed all the chickens. And there was one chicken that escaped and I got this saber out the back and I was chasing it around like some deranged loony, no clothes on. So I'm hacking this chicken and it was... The next door neighbour comes running out with a garden hose. She goes, good morning, John, I see you're back. Are you unwinding?
He's so funny throughout that whole thing. I love it. I just wanted to share this stuff with you. He said there may be one person that I can see possibly may take the torch. Well, I was quite touched by this video. Okay.
Well, I made you something. I made you something. Look, I got mine on. I never took mine off. You gave me, so I wanted to return the favour. You know what I mean? Thank you, of course, man. Thank you, man, for everything. Conquer America. Like, that's it, man. That's the goal.
That's a very touching moment. I mean, that I saw, and it just shows like how loving and caring Ozzy is, and I always felt like, and I certainly feel this when he says, I love you all. I mean, you feel like he does love everybody.
Fucking love you guys.
And here's Youngblood doing his thing on stage, singing Changes. I think he did a really good performance. And I think Youngblood has the passion that it would take to kind of pick up the torch and run with it. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Who's going to be the next one to kind of pick up that torch and rock the world on the next crazy train. But I'm going to leave you with this. Time to change and time to Ozzy's isolated vocals. Here I come, but I ain't the same. Mama, I'm coming home. Time come by, seems to me you could have been a better friend to me. Mama, I'm coming home. You took me in and you drove me out, yeah, me hypnotized. Lost and found and by the fire in your heart.
I'm Ozzy Osbourne, the fucking Prince of Darkness.
This motherfucker invented heavy metal.
After it's all said and done, I wouldn't change a fucking thing.